There have been a number of explosions in the Syrian city of Daraa, which activists say have killed more than 20 Syrian army troops. The violence comes as opposition groups meet in Qatar to try to form a more unified leadership, as Richard Galpin reports.
At least 20 soldiers are reported to have been killed in Syria in 2 car bomb attacks in Daraa. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says there were 2 explosions a few minutes apart in the garden behind an officers' club. The second blast caused the casualties, it added. The group said a third device had gone off in a stadium, injuring no one. Syrian state TV broadcast these pictures, saying 2 car bombs had exploded at separate locations. The report said several civilians had been killed and there was a lot of damage, but it made no mention of a military target. It's not known who was behind the attacks, but Islamist groups have become increasingly involved in the struggle to oust President Assad's government.
Syria's state-run news agency reported that the explosions were an indiscriminate terrorist attack on a shopping district that killed 7 civilians. 3 other explosions were reported in and around Damascus at a military post and other government facilities. As the conflict continues, the number of defections from government forces is growing. 26 military officers fled to neighbouring Turkey on Friday, and dozens of police officers reportedly disappeared from their posts on Saturday.
Syrian opposition groups are meeting in Qatar to tentatively agree on a unified rebel organization. The opposition factions all plan to iron out the details later today. This new coalition will coordinate the fight against President Assad's regime, and it will also administer rebel-held areas and, if the rebels prevail, eventually transition into a new Syrian government.
After a week of talks, they might not be far from an agreement. Syrian opposition groups held 12 hours of negotiations on Saturday, and by the end they were close to a deal on a new representative body.
The 2 sides have got very close to a deal, but it's not a done deal. Riyad Saif is the leader of one of the 2 negotiating parties, and he's told the press that they were on the point of signing the deal when they decided to study the fine print. They needed more time to go through the detail once again.
The Syrian National Council has long represented the country's opposition to the world, but it's been criticised for its internal divisions and for being made up largely of exiles from outside Syria. The plan of former Syrian MP turned dissident Riyad Saif would see members of the SNC become part of a larger body, being called the Syrian National Initiative. This would see the formation of a transitional government, as well as a military council and a judiciary to operate in rebel-held areas of the country. For its part, the SNC elected a new leader of its own this week, George Sabra. He stressed that no group should be forced to take part in any other initiative. Meetings are taking place again on Sunday to try to seal the deal.